Hello, my name is Luis Reina. I work for IBM, and in this short video, I'm gonna show you how to make queries against watsonx.data using REST API. watsonx.data, as you may know, is the IBM LakeHouse platform, and I can query watsonx.data using any tool like dbweaver using HTTPC or DVC connector, but I can use REST API. Okay, before showing you the REST API, let me go here to the console, okay, to show you watsonx.data. Okay, if I move here to the console, okay, I have the engines of the platform, Spark, Presto, some catalogs, it has the metadata, some buckets, the data and the engines are decoupled, and everything is open format. Okay, and from this engine I can go to my SQL tab, and I can do queries here using SQL. I can select information from my iceberg table using the iceberg data catalogs. I can go to my bronze layer, for example, and I can access my product table. Okay, if I run this query, I'm gonna get the result from the console that will give me the content of that product table with product ID, product name, category, and price. And as I mentioned, this can be done from any SQL editor like dbweaver using JDBC or DVC. But how do I do it from AP call? Okay, so let me copy the query, okay, and let me go to my Linux shell. Okay, I have here a Linux shell where I can do a curl to my data. Let me first put the query in a variable here inside my system. So this is the query I want to run using API REST. So I export it, and I'm gonna call the endpoint first. Let me show you where you can get the endpoint from the engine. So if I go back here to my console, I go to my infrastructure manager, I go to my engine, and I'm gonna copy the endpoint from here. Okay, so let's go back to the Linux shell, and I'm gonna do a curl with a post to launch the query. I'm gonna give user and a password to connect. I'm gonna give the endpoint with the v1 statement. I'm gonna establish the user. That is gonna be admin, and I'm gonna give the query I just put before in the SQL variable. So I give the variable, okay, and I'm gonna launch my query. I launch my query, and I obtain the I get the control immediately because the query has been launched, and I have the control. And what is interesting from this output is the next query. Next query is where my query is running. Okay, so I'm gonna pull that query to see if it's finished. So I'm gonna do another curl with the get this time, giving also the user to connect and the password. Okay, and I'm gonna call this next query, this one I obtained from the post, okay, to see if the query has ended or is still running. I launch that call, and it's telling me it's queued, it's still waiting, so it's still being run. I wait a little bit, I launch it again, and hopefully it's already done. If not, I will repeat it until it's done. Okay, it's done. Here, this is the output of the query. If I come here, you can see you have a data column, okay, a data column somewhere here that you have the output of the query. So here are the column names, here the values, and here's the data column, and this is the first row of the table, this is the second row of the table between square brackets. So I have all my data from the query here. So as you can see, it is easy to use REST API from watsonx.data to be able to query data from watsonx.data, calling for any programming language, any place you like. This was all. Thank you for watching.